Sorry.
Maya's not interesting.
Oh.
On the same scale as Joan, Tony, and
Lynn.
To be honest, who is the other girlfriend? Let's talk about it.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel, and we have a couple special guests. Y'all who wants to go first? Anybody?
Are we giving Howard intro?
Not Howard intro.
My name is Lauren Eccles, and my social media is Lee1017, like drawn out like that, not the actual number.
I'm Kiara. My Instagram is not .Kiara. Don't follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm Chantel. But today, this is highly anticipated at least for me. I'm really excited. We'll be reviewing Girlfriends. So who wants to go first? Y'all overall thoughts about the whole thing?
I can understand why people were watching it. Like, I can understand, like, this was that show. My mom used to watch it. I used to watch it with her. But, yeah, I can see why people were watching it. If it were to come out now, I don't know, because I hate Joan. And that pretty much sums up my thoughts for the whole show, because Joan sucks.
I really like the show. I like the way it looked. I like the little cute little outfits they had on. Like, that really pushed it for me, because sometimes the storyline was like, what's going on here? But honestly, all the opinions like on Twitter and stuff, I tend to disagree with them. Like, even the hate for Joan, like, I feel like sometimes
hold on.
That's the one thing.
A lot of people, like, they act like they wouldn't do the stuff that she did, like, or that. No, I know I'm talking about. We'll get into it. We'll get into it, okay?
Okay.
Personally, besides Joan, just in the show in general was good. I just think they dragged it out too long.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like it could have ended
5
or season 5.
Yeah.
Especially after Tony left, it was like yeah.
Don't do that, because Tony carried the show. As soon as we got in season 7, I was like, it took me so long. Like, I finished like, the first 6 seasons so quickly, and then I got to season 7 and I was like, watching like one episode every other day.
Maya's not interesting.
Oh.
And she go. Like, Maya was like, she was equally as problematic as all the rest of them. So I don't know why.
Oh, that was
for sure. She would say so many rude things to just people for no reason.
And Joan.
No, it wasn't Joan, hold on. Y'all came to my house unprovoked all the time, living off me, eating off me, coming into my therapy.
Okay, we can talk about Lynn and Joan. We cannot say Maya was doing the same thing.
Maya was, I'm not saying they're doing the same thing. I'm just saying that she was equally as bad.
I feel like Joan was so controlling and so narcissistic. You cannot say she was your favorite girlfriend.
Oh, I didn't say she was my favorite. I don't really like any of them. None of them.
Well, actually, no. I'd say Maya is my favorite girlfriend.
Me too. Absolutely.
100%. But no. I take it back. I say Tony is my favorite girlfriend to watch, but I would never be her friend in real life.
Yeah.
That's some solid. That's very solid.
Okay. I just feel like I want to hear your thoughts about Joan.
I didn't like Joan. Would never be her friend, but I understood why she would go about things in the way that she would, because a lot of the time they were taking advantage of her. And honestly, I don't know her background in being a child or whatever, but she let them take advantage of her. And finally she was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then they got mad at her for finally taking like charge and being like, yo, you're not gonna do this. And I know she was problematic. I definitely agree with that. But the thing about it is, like, some of the stuff just wasn't her fault. Or some of the stuff was kind of like, well, it was going to happen because y'all been over her house all the time. Y'all been just trashing her. They'd be like, she'd be just sitting down. They'd be like, that's why you're not married. Like, it was just unprovoked all the time, just digging at Joan for like no reason. And sometimes it was valid. And that brings me back to Tony and her, and how when Tony was messing up so badly and treating her like utter shit. Like, Joan was supposed to be like, oh, that's okay. But when Joan was tweaking and doing all this stuff, they're like, bye.
I think first season, second season Joan I can deal with. But there was a turning point where I think everybody was like, I hate this girl. I don't know what she did the first time, but I just know she. Go ahead, Kiara.
I don't know what she did the first time, but I know, like you were saying, like first season, second season, I was like, why are you friends with Tony? Like, you do not need to be with this girl. You should have been left her years ago. And then I think it was around the time that Tony was about to get married that everything switched for me.
Yeah.
It was right around that time because Joan was like being a hater, and she was like, oh, she's getting married before me. Oh my gosh. I can't believe she's doing that. And then like picking fights with what's his name? Ellis.
She had a lot of niggas.
I don't know. She had a lot of boys.
The actor.
It was Ellis at that time.
Ellis, yes. Yeah, and she was like picking fights with Ellis and all this stuff. And then when you finally thought she was gonna be over it, then it's the night before her wedding and she's still tweaking. And then after that, in what season was that? Season 4, season 5, whatever that was, where she broke up with Ellis for Brock and then they left. And then she was like, Tony already got married before me. I'm still mad about it. Don't tell her I told you. Like, that was so, you cannot want to get married that bad. Or to even like, I don't know, just like treat your friends that way over some guy.
Yeah.
Like, Miss Tony just had something about her.
Yeah. Tony, let's get into Tony.
Because I have so many things to say about her. She was just so problematic. And the thing about it is, which takes me back to Joan, it's like you grew up with a shitty person like that you always had to like pull her up, always had to feed her ego, always have to help her out. And she expects that year after year after year. That has to be like, you know, like hurtful, especially growing up like into womanhood with somebody that's a awful person like that. Like, I feel like some people need to cut Joan some slack because she never had time to wild out. She was always awesome. I need to help Tony do this. I need to be her therapist. I need to be her babysitter. I need to do this. Like, I know she's a grown woman. She shouldn't think that, but she always been thinking that since she was like 3. So like, how do you stop thinking that?
I just think, okay, first of all, the first episode when Tony brought Joan's ex-boyfriend to the party, that should have been it. Like, that should have been done. First season finale when Tony went to go sleep with, what's the boy's name?
Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Why was that not the final straw? Why are you still her friend? Like,
she tried though. She literally tried to cut Tony off, and Tony was like, no.
No, that was kind of funny. But like, she's such a terrible. Okay. I'll put it like this. These are my thoughts on Tony.
Mm-hmm.
She's a terrible person, but also she got better over time. Whereas I see Joan was not that bad of a person, but she just got terrible season 6, yeah. And I was just like, you know what? I like Tony a lot better than Joan.
Absolutely.
When did Tony get better? She literally didn't go to her baby's first appointment.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree on that one because new mothers, especially new mothers like Tony, she was definitely probably like going through like some sort of like postpartum emotion, if not depression as a whole. Because I mean, like, if she's taking care of this new baby and also losing her husband and all of this stuff, then I can understand why that would happen. But she got it together, and that's okay.
Lost her husband because of her and her greed.
I disagree.
Wait, hold on. I need a refresher. Why did they break up?
Because she's a greedy person, and
no, because he knew she was greedy.
She didn't have any money like she wanted, so she was like, and she already didn't even feel like he was enough anyway because he was short, and that was always a reoccurring thing. And it's like, you know, it's a joke, but it's like that's definitely how she felt because she brought it up all the time, and she literally was just being so. It just didn't make any sense to what she like. I don't know. how she used to speak to him was like actually awful.
But I feel like she really loved him. Like she gave up Idris Elba. Idris
Oh, I
for
almost forgot.
Todd?
It's
That
like
was
they can love you, but they cannot treat you like shit too. Like, how is he supposed to know that she loved him? Or cause like she was always like, "You short motherfucker," like for no reason. Like you
I,
just be in the room, or she like, "You're poor," like for no reason.
I mean,
but
she is very problematic. But the thing about Tony is that we knew that from the beginning. And after, like, if you're an adult and you're gonna spend these 2 years of her being a terrible person, like the 2 seasons that we saw, that we all agree that she was a terrible person, then after the third year, and you've already been friends with her for how many years? After the third year, I don't feel bad for you anymore because you know that's how Tony is, and that's just gonna be the way it is. And I also don't think, I think like part of it is like, if this was like a regular ass person, I wouldn't be like, oh, Tony's so mean to her husband, because it's like, it's a sitcom, so she's supposed to be like a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more mean than like a normal person would be. But that's also how their relationship started, and they were always kind of like going back and forth with each other, like the banter that they were doing. And so, I mean, she was mean, rightfully so. But okay, sometimes, because he started getting a little, because Todd, oh my gosh, Todd made me so mad. I don't even remember what he did, to be honest. But
I like Todd and Tony. I wish they lasted longer though.
me too.
I'm glad he got out. And it's like, yes, it's a sitcom, but that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I know it's a sitcom, but I know we're dissecting it in this is a person. Like, I'm not looking at her as a character. It's like, this is what she did, and this is how.
And it's so, because that's how their relationship started, though. Because they were always talking to each other like that. Like, from the very first time they, like, met outside of the doctor's office or whatever. They were always, like, going back and forth with each other. And, again, as a grown adult, if that wasn't something you were okay with 6 months ago when we got married, why is it not okay now, 6 months into our marriage? And then also, he lied to her. Like, he lied to her about like the debt thing. Like, he didn't tell her that
Oh yeah.
the debt. And he obviously knows that money is something that's really important to Tony, because she's the superficial person that she is. And she wasn't even really upset about the debt part of it. It was more so that he lied to her about it, and she told him that a bunch of times. And so their trust was like destroyed from that. And then he was like going on these like secret dates with his coworkers, and then you fly halfway across or all the way across the country to New York, and that person is still there, and I'm not supposed to look at you sideways. Come on.
I understand that, but like, why couldn't he do what he wanted when Greg came back and he was like, "Can you like not go on a date with him?" And she was like, "Fuck what you think. I'm gonna do what I want." And that is when Todd did that. That's when he was like, "Oh, we're just doing shit willy nilly," and that's when he did that after.
You know what? I didn't like that whole plot line of Todd and Tony. Now that I think about it, I liked them together at first, but once I'm thinking about like the details of he left and got a reality TV show in New York, like, can we get real? Like, that did not happen. That would not happen. Like, it was too quick. I don't know. And also, going back to season 1 and 2, I feel like even though Tony is very superficial, like she still loved Greg and he was poor. So there's a way she could still love what's Todd and he was poor, but he did lie. Y'all want to talk about Lynn?
Not really.
Quite honest, I do not want to. Oh my gosh.
She's there.
I guess the very first thing is, no, not even the very first thing, just as a whole, 5 degrees and no job, not one, not a singular one in your 30 years of life. Okay. What's something else she did? The whole music thing. She cannot sing.
Oh my gosh.
What was that? I really did not enjoy that. I hated it.
And then they kept trying to make us listen to her like full 3-minute songs at the end. I don't want to see this. I promise you I don't want to see this.
Lynn is very, first of all, I just want to say, why didn't they make Lynn Jones' sister? That would make a lot more sense to me that they they care. Why would you listen? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If the both of y'all didn't have a job and you want to live in my house for 8 years, not paying rent, eating my food, washing your clothes, no payment at all.
Not even stealing cards. She was charging these niggas cards on the daily, admitting to it, and they were still her friend. I would have called the cops on you.
That's how some show shit, because I'm like, that's not happening in real life.
There was a tweet and they're like, what's something gay that isn't actually gay but should be gay? And they put a picture of Lynn, and it was just like, that would make a lot more sense because every guy y'all put with her is ugly. The only person that I would give rights to was the preacher, and that didn't even last. So what was the point?
He was cute.
But Lynn is definitely, if girlfriends, like let's say Tony stayed and Lynn left, perfect.
That would have been so. That would have been
for real.
Because nobody cares about Lynn.
Mine too.
Moaning in the mic, like what?
I just didn't understand that. Like, why does she sing like that?
I don't know why they made that her career. Like, why didn't they make her a psychologist? That's what she got her degree in.
I feel like she would be good at that.
Even an actor, because, like, she was, like, scamming people left and right, pretending to be, like, a tour guide, all this type of stuff. And singing was your passion? Are you sure?
I was just really confused at Lynn. Every time she come out the screen, I just didn't understand what she was doing.
And, like, y'all went out to eat every day. Did she ever pay for a meal?
No. Even when she got famous and actually had money, she did it, like, once.
And then she moved into Joan's house. It's like, how much more? How much more are you going to take from me? So, Maya.
Miss Maya! Love her.
What'd you say, Lauren?
Cheater. Like, nobody brings up the fact she was cheated. They were just like, okay, anyway.
Okay, no, because we're not even going to do that, right? So here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about...
Yes or no? That's all I want to hear.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, right?
And then lie about it.
Oh, no. Darnell was still getting fed strawberries season 1, and we never bring it up. We never bring it up.
Just because he sucks doesn't mean... I'm trying to bring up the fact, just because everybody else around him sucks doesn't mean Maya doesn't suck as well. Like, they can...
Maya didn't do anything as
that doesn't mean that Maya's just angel. Oh, it's not true, and it's okay.
I'm not saying that she's perfect, because, like, everybody in the show cheated. If I'm not mistaken, Tony cheated on Greg. Joan admitted to cheating, or not cheating, but having an affair with a married man that she knew was married in season 7.
I agree. Don't know, Betty. Maya still cheated.
But nothing she did was as bad as any of the other characters.
It's bad, like, even in scale. Like, cheating is cheating.
Cheating is cheating. However, Darnell still cheated, and he deserved it.
Did y'all like, obviously we love Darnell, but did y'all like the whole plot line of them getting back together? I feel like they threw that in.
I was really surprised, honestly. I was like, oh.
I was, like, hoping for it, to be honest, because Darnell was looking real cute. Like, I think it was when they first, like, when Maya started staying at Joan's house, he was looking real scrumptious. I'm not gonna lie. And then that whole thing with, like, what's that girl name that he was gonna get married to? Whatever her name was.
I can't remember.
Elena?
I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah.
Lena,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that whole thing was gross, and I didn't want him to be with her. And I thought that maybe they would do like like Lena cheats again or something, and then Darnell finds out, and then maybe Maya comforts him, and then they're not getting back together, but still like better friends.
But it's like, why was Darnell not mad at Lena? And she actually cheated. Like, she literally was about to go out. She was out with the man.
He was like, Okay, anyway. No.
Literally.
Sometimes I just like to disagree with people, and that's just how I am. So I have to wake that up because mine wasn't awful, and I won't say that she was in any way the worst girlfriend, or even on the same scale as Joan, Tony, and Lynn.
To be honest, who was the other girlfriend? Let's talk about it.
No, literally.
No, because I think it was Lynn. I think it was Lynn because honestly, she took so much like advantage of Joan, and I just really don't like when people take advantage of somebody that really tries for them. 8 years is a long time. Joan definitely didn't have any boundaries, and she needed some, but still, like, for somebody to do that, and you just, where's the thank you? Where's the gratefulness?
And I think that's probably why, like, I don't know how this ended up going back to Joan, but, like, she just didn't grow as a character in the 8 seasons that we saw. From season 1 to season 8, she was looking for a man. From season 1 to 8, she was being controlling, being jealous, being all this stuff, not having boundaries. If you're gonna like not go to your friends, like what was it, like her housewarming party, if you're not gonna show up for your friend's like custody battle,
hearing, I was like,
at least.
But she was going through a breakdown. She was going through a breakdown. Wayne Brady dragged her.
No, I hated that so much. No, that was literally the worst thing ever. Even if we broke up, had a fight, I did you wrong, you're gonna leave me at a party with all these strangers while I'm drunk? You're not gonna call me a taxi. I'll pay for the taxi.
I really had to stop watching for like a week. Like I was like, he was like, "You're ugly. Look at you." I was like,
no, that was.
And then she still didn't learn. Like she still didn't like grow from that. Like that whole situation happened. She was down bad, lost a friend, and all this stuff. And you're still the exact same person. And it was getting old. But yeah, that whole scene. I kind of laughed a little bit because she was, but I'm not saying she deserved it. But it was, I personally did laugh a little bit at that.
I just wish I was doing that to her. I just didn't like that it was a man. I guess that's really what got me.
Yeah.
She is classist and egregious.
Season 1.
She was.
Like she's narcissistic. All she wants to do is find a man. And I just really wish the show, I said this before, I wish the show was more than that. Like, I wish there was some identity. Like, I know she didn't like her job. Maybe we could have dove into that more. No, I need to get married. Her with this wedding collage, that was weird. Like, why do you have that? I could see, like, maybe, like, looking up pictures, maybe. Or, I guess it was back in the day, so, like, bridal magazines. But you literally have wedding clothes in your closet. That's weird. She's just classist and egregious.
I just feel like she didn't really like herself, and that's really kind of that's really why all the things that she did, that's where it stemmed from, her just like hating herself and trying to find worth in a relationship. And the thing is, like, she surrounded herself with people that really didn't, I guess, support her in the way that she needed, because a lot of them, because they would be like, "Oh, Joan, you're never gonna get married," or not, just say like rude shit. And it's like, I feel like she internalized that a lot because she didn't have that confidence to be like, you know what? But she was like, yeah, I do want to get married. Yeah, I am a shit person, and my worth is in marriage, because that's what they really would say to her like all the time.
I think she has a goal. She definitely had like a goal list, and she was like, I want to be a lawyer. I want to graduate top of my class. And now my final thing is to have kids and get married. And